Welcome to the DingeCast. We are driven by a passion for discovery and the belief that history should be uncovered. Our mission is to reveal the hidden realities of the past to bring history into the light. Welcome to the DingeCast.
All right, folks, welcome to the DingeCast. We've got a guest tonight. I am joined by Ash Kumra, and I was gonna try to intro you, man, but we don't have all day. So, is there like a TLDR of your background, your expertise? It's extensive.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ryan, for the opportunity. And you know what? I'll just say that if there is a textbook definition of reinventing yourself, plaster my face all over it times infinity, because I think what I'm very good at is I'm a professional reinventor. I have done the tech entrepreneurship, not saying I did well, I've tried it. I have done the public speaking route. I've been blessed to travel around the world. I have tried to be the business author. I have tried to be a wellness entrepreneur. I have tried to even, set up like a food cart. I have done all kinds of things. And what I have learned, I've also become a pseudo Star Trek historian in another life. The reason why I bring this up is because whenever you ask me that question, I'm always going to have a different purpose and passion. And I think it's because as a professional reinventor, I take the energy and experiences from the past and I use it to what is makes sense for me in the present. And I feel that allows me to have a very diverse and very unique way of seeing things and also doing things. But to sum it up, what am I doing right now? And I feel these two things are going to be a constant for not only this moment, but even for the future, is I am very passionate about two things: AI and creativity. So I spend my time as the head of community for one of the largest AI movements in the world called AI Collective. I'm blessed and humbled to work with some of the smartest, sharpest people. I consider them all friends on the team. And we just have fun putting on AI demo nights, putting on AI salons, dinners. We're working on a conference. This interview will be before the conference. It will be in the fall of 2025. And then outside of that, I decided to use my love for hip hop and AI and creativity to create a publishing house, imprint. And basically, I am obsessed with Bay Area culture. That's where I live right now. And so I just launched my first book called Rhyme is Life. And Rhyme is Life is actually a purely original created piece of content, but I did use AI to enhance the production for the audio, which we could talk about as well.
Definitely, definitely. And you're too humble, man. There's so much more there. Like you've been featured in everything. You've done TEDx talks.
Yeah.
And the for people that don't know about the AI Collective, I mean, this is huge. There's over 70,000 members now
hmm
across the
hmm
globe, really. I mean, this is
hmm
huge. So,
Yeah, I wish I could take credit for that. I didn't found it. What's interesting about that is I joined the group because I was just looking for a new set of friends. Part of my reinvention is I moved back to the Bay Area and I'm actually in my childhood room right now. So I thought it's very fitting
oh
for this
wow.
interview. And what was interesting is that when I moved back here 2.5 years ago now, I needed a new set of friends. All the friends I had were mostly in Southern California. I lived there for over 16 years. Shout out to everyone I know in SoCal. I love everyone there. I just needed a change and something was calling me. And then my dad was like, you know what? Instead of putting one foot in, one foot out, missing SoCal, wondering where everyone in your life is, why don't you just get into this AI world? And my dad's like every typical senior, watches news all the time. And he happens to have CNBC on. And of course, CNBC is always talking about AI. Where's AI going? Is it taking jobs? Is it this and that? But my dad was like, I don't know anything about AI, obviously, like you do, but I know you have a tech background and interest. And why don't you get involved with AI? And so I just threw myself in the AI scene in the Bay Area. And that's how I stumbled upon the AI Collective. And that was in last November. And I fell in love with them. And I've been really active with them since Jan of this year. So it's been a blast.
That's amazing, man. Well, that's part of why I was really excited to get you on because like I wanted to talk about AI. I obviously want to talk about it with somebody who's got that kind of inside knowledge, that background, so we can really get into it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
my main thing that I keep seeing, I just get bombarded with this news trying to say AI is making us lazy, or it's ruining creativity. And I'm like, okay, I can see a side of that if you're using it for lazy reasons, right? It's like it's all about the who's putting the prompts in. You could just, write me my term paper. I didn't, But for me, for I think for people like us, it's really accelerated our creativity. There's things that there used to be barriers or things just took too long to invest the time in doing, and now you're like, I have this tool that can bring these visions to life. And that's been my experience. What do you think of that?
Yeah, the reason why I say and the reason why I'm like kind of caught off guard is because offline I told you I want you to ask me questions without prep. So, and I want to hold myself to that. This is my off the cuff answer, and honest to
Yeah.
God, this is a different answer that I would give to a different kind of conversation because I feel like whatever I'm feeling in the moment makes sense. I feel right now there are two types of people primarily in this AI universe. Okay, there is the person who is skeptical of AI. They believe that AI is going to take their jobs away. I am not disagreeing with that. I can totally see certain jobs where AI could take away one's specific role. On the flip side, I think there are people who embrace that, okay, it's taken away one role, but it allows you to develop another skill set. So a great example, I have to give my dad props. Again, my dad is not a AI expert. My dad is a typical senior citizen. I don't mean that in an insulting way. He's of those years who watches primarily news on TV and the newspaper. He does not read AI
Right.
Insider or MIT, any of that stuff. He is
Yeah.
an engineer, but he doesn't, he just, he just doesn't, at the moment, doesn't do that. But my dad was like, what is a soft skill in AI that you could fastly develop and then from that skill pick up the next level and the next level and the next level. So like start small, learn that, go big, go big, go big. And I'll tell you the one skill set that I learned in the beginning, which is allowing me to really answer the second part, which as you can tell I really believe in, if you haven't figured that out, is prompt engineering. Now, obviously one's like, oh God, I know ChatGPT, I know Claude, I'm on Perplexity. Obviously they're dope tools, and there's others that I have not even mentioned. But did you know you can learn how to extensively use prompt engineering to basically automate most of your life tasks? So I'll use my dad as an example. Shout out to my dad. He's not even in the house. I came to visit. He's not even here. But I love this example. My dad is at the age right now where he's trying to develop his retirement portfolio. My dad is a very active, he loves stocks and mutual funds and public equities. And he's planning his like next journey of life for him and his wife, my mother. And so my dad was like, can you come up with the 10 top stock investments from 5 industries that are not related, that minimum investment is X, they have options trading, and they have and the basic it's based on the last 5 years of what's it called based on the last 5 years of returns as the assumption. And there's some other things like that. They have to be in the alpha, alpha spread. For anyone who knows advanced trading, like it's a pretty specific type of stock or public equities type of marker. I use Grok, X Musk's
Mhm.
platform. I got within 10 minutes this amazing analysis that if my dad decided to go on Bloomberg and decide to read and do that, like go look up financial annual reports, 10Ks and all that stuff, it would probably take him a day or two, if not a week. I got that in 10 days. Now my dad has saved several days of time. Now, obviously, Grok is not a financial planner, obviously taken with a risk, but my dad was able to learn certain things with AI based on that is now helping him make better financial decisions. Now, on the flip side, I was asked on the AI Collective front, we have a corporate partnership program that we're launching with a new partner. It's like a TEDx type of event series that we're doing with this very prominent Fortune 1000 firm, and they wanted us to come up with some corporate AI programs to incentivize 300 to 500 of their employees. They have a theater and everything. And so what I used ChatGPT for is I wrote out my outline because I'm one of the heads of our programming strategy, and that's my background is programming content. I wrote out these are the 3 ideas, these are the themes, make it better. My God, I saved the role of a professional event planner. Took it 10 minutes. I literally did that 30 minutes before this conversation. My point is that on a small level, my time is now free to go work on other things.
Exactly.
There
Yes.
you go. And I can go actually, and I'm going to give you a third. I didn't lie. I didn't realize there's a third type of person. There is someone who is not pro AI or anti AI. They're just AI's here. Accept it. AI first. It's an AI first world. How do you embrace it? And a lot of the futurists that you meet, whether it's the Altmans, I'd even argue that the AI Collective co-founders, Chappie and Steven and Pierce and some of the other people, I feel like a lot of these people who are building AI movements feel the same way, where it's not about liking or disliking. It's like it's already here. Let's figure out how to work with it.
Yes. And I agree with so much of that. Like for me, I mean, some of my prompts are like novels, right? I give it so much instruction, so much direction, and I feel like the quality of what I get back is so good because it understands exactly what I'm looking for, right? Don't you can't just say, give me the top 5 stocks to buy. It's going to give you such a generic answer, but when you tell it exactly which kind of investments you're looking for, there's some parameters to stay within, some to avoid, it will do the research to get you that, right? Like you're saying, I mean, I can't sit here and read, 100 books a day, to research something, but it can give you a really solid synopsis to that then allows you to jump to step two. And you say, good, here's my follow-up questions to that. Let's get into it. Let's figure out, the deeper questions here. So, uh, you know, I mean, there's so many things I want to ask you, but I mean, for me, it's like let's just start from the foundation of this. Like history has seen how many technological industrial revolutions over the years: the steam engine, the railroad, the airplane, then computers, right? And then in recent history, like the internet, and now AI. I feel like is AI's impact being blown out of proportion, or is it really going to be as disruptive as the fear mongers are saying? Which like I don't think so. I know some sectors are going to be disrupted for sure. They will be impacted, but that's not even just AI in the sense we're thinking of it, right? There's automation. Like I keep saying, so once self-driving cars take off, there goes the trucking industry. Self-driving trucks, self-checkout everywhere. Who needs cashiers? There's a lot of jobs like that. But then, you know, somebody who has to review legal papers for typos all day. It's like, yeah, you could just have AI run that as well. So it's a lot of the entry level jobs maybe that get first impacted, and like you said, it kind of opens up that next tier, right? Is it I don't know. Like some jobs are maybe not super rewarding and other jobs might be more challenging, but is it good for people to have that challenge to say like you're not gonna lose your job, but your job's gonna be a step above what it was 5 or 10 years ago. Like your responsibilities have changed because we're incorporating you having an AI assistant to speed up the work that you're doing. Because that's how I look at it. I look at it as an assistant. I would hate to be my actual like human assistant because I have become very impatient with having AI in my tool set now.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for the more day-to-day kind of tactical questions you ask me about will it
Sure,
take
sure.
away things, but I'll give you a a bigger picture philosophy that I live by. I mentioned to you that one of my reinventions was is I was a Star Trek historian. I when I first moved here back to the Bay 2.5 years ago, I was in this interesting science fiction phase. I still love science fiction. I believe that there's a concept called humanism, which is the creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry, came up with this. Not came up with this, he promoted it. It's a concept that's very popular in a lot of futurists and philosophers. It's about humans striving to be the best humans they could be. As simple as that. There's a deeper philosophy behind it, but that philosophy was why he was a big believer in Star Trek. And like many people of my age and era, I grew up with Star Trek The Next Generation. And Star Trek The Next Generation from my early years, I'm talking about even before I was a teen up to still to this day, has AI in it. It has computers. It has things that automate things. It has things that produce things. And I'm going to give a story. in one of the Star Trek episodes, the Enterprise captures this vessel from the 20th century. So the Enterprise, I think, was 23rd, 24th century, and that's in the Star Trek years. And they capture this thing from the 20th century, um, and they capture this vessel of these people who are in frozen status. So there was a technology eventually where right before you die, or you know you're about to die, you go into this frozen chamber. And the idea is that later in the future, medicine can find a way to cure you right before you're about to die. You're in this you're like in a coma state. You're frozen. So like it's I don't know if that's officially true, but in science fiction, you can do anything. So the guys come up, the men and women come alive. One of the guys who comes alive is a just the typical greedy capitalist that Mr. Burns from The Simpsons kind of vibe.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, yo, like I need to check on my estates, my assets. Captain Picard's like, it probably doesn't exist anymore. Guy's like, he's like, what? He's like, yeah, because we don't really, money isn't what we strive for anymore. The pursuit of excellence is what we pursue for as humans. So, and the reason why in the Star Trek world there's no poor people, hunger is solved, is because automation, AI technologies have been able to create a level of basic abundance for people. Basic abundance. I want to be clear. Basic abundance means any kind of food you want, any kind of helper like robots or tools, things that can solve your daily mundane problems, your chores, so that you have the freedom to do whatever you want or the things that you really want to do. You want to be a painter, you want to be a carpenter, you want to build ships, you want to be on the Starship Enterprise, you name it. That is the future. I believe in AI. I don't know if AI I don't know if that's going to happen in the near future. Is there going to be some unrest and potential disruption in the beginning? Yeah, we're already seeing that. But at the same time, if the end goal is that, then I'm all for it. Did I
Wow.
answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like in a roundabout way that it's like Star Trek figured out UBI first, right? That in a sense, right? It's not like the income sense, but that you're already good. And since you're good, pursue your passions, do something positive, right? Like I can picture a world where because AI has supported that whole concept, um, you'd think the future is all tech, right? Because we're so now ingrained with robots and all these systems. I would see it as like that allows people to have a return to more natural lifestyles. It's like if I don't have to do all of this, I might then grow my own crops. And that's going to be my thing, right? Like the people you have machines running everything, so you're like, "Well, what do I actually need food? I'm going to learn how to grow my own food. I'll be completely self-sustained in this little plot of land I have." I don't know, it's a pipe dream, but I could see it as a reality that more people would choose that if they had the ability to. Could be wrong.
And to answer your question about the robo taxis, so I go to SF a lot. I live in the Bay Area, and I have to admit the one thing I've not done yet is go into a Waymo. Waymo's the rage right now in the city. I know there's other ones out like Zeus, and I know Musk is having the Tesla ones in Austin.
Yep, yep.
Um, but I actually think it's a godsend because look, I still use Uber and I got nothing against Uber. Trust me, I love Uber drivers. They have been great for those late night outs or those times when you don't feel like driving or places like going to a sports coliseum game. You don't want to park in the parking lot or
Oh
I don't know.
no,
It's just
no.
there's a lot of those benefits. So I'm not saying Uber drivers need to go away, but I'm just saying that look, if this one thing could help get people from A to B or do long rides or do the trips that you don't want, I'm all for it.
Same, man. I just got back from the beach and it's a 4 hour drive. And I'm like, as I'm driving, I'm like, God, I can't wait till I have a self-driving car. Just for, I like driving, but there's moments like that where you're like, can I just please just let the
Yeah.
car drive itself and let me just rest for a minute here? Because it's like highway driving, there's no stoplights, you're just go. And my mind will start to drift. And you're like, nope, you gotta just think about driving for 4 hours straight and stay alive on the road here. Uh, well, I want to start talking about the creative aspect, but what do you think of this? I'll throw this at you. Like somebody like me, I do all kinds of stuff, but like as far as development, coding goes, I can do web development. That's about it. I can get in to the back end of your website and fix stuff, build stuff, but game development has never been my wheelhouse. So I was interested. I'm like, let's see, could I work with AI to build me a game in a system that I know nothing about, right? I'm like, this is what I want, a side scroller, blah, blah, blah. It spits out a bunch of code. I'm like, good. What do I do with the code now? They're like, you have to add it to GitHub. I'm like, how do I do that? And just, the AI walked me through these steps and I barely know what I'm doing. I can copy and paste this. And then the end product, like it actually worked. Like it actually gave me a functional, not great visually appealing game. I didn't put a whole lot of time into it, but it was interesting how I was able to use AI to achieve something that I don't really understand the technology, but I was able to bring my creative vision to life fairly easily. Um, so I guess my question is, how do you see AI transforming, let's call it the creator economy, right? We're talking about like Uber drivers, the gig economy. Is one of the booms that we might see this explosion in the creator economy, and not necessarily like just people generating, like AI cat videos and flooding their Instagram with it, like meaningful stuff here. Do you think that's going to be a big piece of this, or that's kind of just a fleeting trend right now?
My friend, I think you're asking the wrong question. I think you should
That's what
ask.
you're here for, man. Yeah, let's
I
go.
think I think instead of asking will it happen, you should ask how do we how do we use it? Because it already is happening.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Let's
think
let's break it down.
I think some of the I I have I have connected with a lot of people in the creator economy as of late because I'm very interested in that kind of space. In fact, um, you're one of the first people to really hear this, but I mentioned to you that, in my current reinvention, I'm passionate about two things, AI and creativity. And so for me, I really want to now bridge the gap. I actually got the domain AI Creative, AIXcreative.com, and I'm going to be basically blogging and doing interviews with top creators around this topic. But
Nice.
prior to launching this, I started to have conversations with people in the creator economy world, and I'm blown away by a couple things. AI created like tools like the Instagram feed. It's so darn good. Whatever you focus on, because I'm watching all these creators, specifically ones that are talking about how they're using AI tools. All the sponsored ads are tools that are sponsoring creators. So I have seen half a dozen sponsored ads on my Instagram that are from Claude working with a certain YouTuber. And the ads are good.
Seriously, yeah.
I'm not as extensive with Claude like the way I'm with ChatGPT or Grok. But I like Claude. But I'm now like thinking, okay, I need to start to learn more about Claude because creators who I'm going to be profiling and I want to learn how they're using AI and creativity are pimping out Claude. So, and the way they're using it, it's phenomenal. They're talking about podcast questions, thumbnails, coming up with, scheduling content, posting content, even ideation, even of course, the higher level VO3 rage, or using editing or sound editing and all these things that can automate basically the whole post production to a certain degree. Or my philosophy, and I did this with my project Rhyme is Life, is instead of using it to create my story, I use it to enhance stories. So I love hip hop music, and so my producer and I, who helped me create Rhyme is Life, we have a lot of authentic rap songs. And what we decided to do is we decided to, excuse me, we decided to create the songs, we decided to create the beats, and then we used AI tools that make them sound better and handsome. So that's where AI and creativity can work hand in hand. I'm more of a fan of that model, and I feel you're going to see more and more of that versus the let's build everything from scratch using an AI tool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, on that, tell us more about Ryman's life. Let's see the book again. 'Cause I know it's more than just a book, right? So let's get into it. This is your big project right now. Not it's not the project, but
Yeah,
this is where your heart's at, man.
my heart is in it, and the reason why is because look, let me sum up the story of Ryman's life, and then I'll go more into the AI process that we use for it. Ryman's life is a story of three high school best friends who get a second shot of being a rapper 15 years later. They tried in their high school, they wanted to do it, but then, like every senior, especially men, straight men, a girl gets in the way. girl gets in the way and some drama happens with two of the guys and they lose touch. 15 years later, they all meet up at a high school reunion. The one guy who's like kind of homies with both of the other two guys is like, listen, what happened to that dream we're supposed to do? They find out about this audition. They try out. They win. It was like muscle memory, you know, that term muscle memory. If you don't work out for a while, but you do it after, you're like, oh my God, I still got it. Or I can still dance. I still got rhythm. Or I still know a language. I call it hip hop rhythm. And it's about them going through this like rap circuit and like trying to like rediscover their talents. And it's about, you know, what if you can get the second chance to do what you want and the thing that you're meant to do. And so I feel that this story is relatable to anyone. You don't have to like just hip hop for this story. You could just like the idea of like, okay, like we all have had those chances. We've all got, what if we get that second shot? So I think that's the main theme. It's about friendship. It's about love to a certain degree. It's very much geared for anyone who is into the days before social media. So the eras was like mid 90s to early like 2010, 9, 10, I think. 9, I think 2009. Yeah. So went from Dr. Dre, The Chronic, all the way to like E40's hyphy rap that he kind of relaunched in the 2008, 2009 era. Like that's kind of the era. But to your question about AI and creativity and kind of what we're talking about here, like I mentioned a little while ago, my partner and I, production partner, we were like, how do we make this truly epic? And so we have the original material, which is right here, which is the book, Kindle, and this. But for the audiobook, what we wanted to do is wanted to make the audiobook just spectacular. We used AI tools to give us recommendations on when to add background beats, when to enhance a hook, when to make a beat have more bass. But the original ideation, the original story, the original script, the original lyrics, even the voiceovers to a certain degree, were all developed in-house. And I feel what we're doing with this model is we're one of the first. I don't know. I either meet people who are like, F no to AI as a creative, respectfully, that's cool, that's your thing. Or they're all in on AI only. Like Timberland, I don't know if you heard about this, but as of this interview, Timberland just launched a AI first music label and he's using an AI artist completely. It's a trip. It's polarizing because those F no AI people, they're writing stuff. It's pretty and their points are good. But the people like me are kind of like, okay, all right, I see you, Timbaland. You're a goat. You want to experiment. Who am I going to argue with you? You've made so many epic songs, but I'm kind of in the middle where I'm like, okay, you haters and you all in. I'm in the middle. Let's use Timbaland's genius and let's use the original content that the F No AI people. Let's fuse it together, and you got a project like Rhyme is Life, dude. I've never said that on air, but dude, that is a bar. No pun intended. But dude, oh my god, dude, that is. Sorry, man. I'm just touting myself. I don't mean to, but
that's awesome.
That was good.
Because I guess like the point, right? It's like you're still a prompt engineer. It's not like you didn't do the work. There was still a lot of manual work to really get it to where it is, but I'm sure it accelerated the timeline to get there, less resources needed. And at the end of the day, you know, do you feel like had you hired a Timbaland or somebody to help you with this, you know, the end product, I'm sure that you're super happy with it. You're like, this is what I was looking for. I can't like what a surreal experience, right? Like I can't believe I have this in my hands now. And like I mean, I
Dude,
feel like that's where a lot of people are at. They're probably, you know, there's that wow factor for them where that's like, I can't believe I was able to make this. It's freaking good. It's not a gimmick, you know. And if somebody like Timberland can pull that off, there has to be some value there. It's obviously made some strides in recent years.
yeah, and you know, I want to give a little more disclaimer because I speak from the heart, and sometimes, like yourself as a versatile communicator, your passion can come off the wrong way, and I want to be mindful of, especially with the times we live in right now. I want to be very sensitive to some people's um, issues. What I'm about to say, the people who are saying "f no" to AI, I'm not here to tell you that they're wrong. I'm not here to tell you that they're dumb or naive or they have no clue. I'm here to tell you that that's their perspective and I respect it. And on the same side, if the Timberlands or the future Timberlands who don't have that street cred yet want to use all in on AI and they're hell bent on it, then you do you. I think that's what's great about AI is that it's sort of there's not one solution. That's the point I'm trying to tell you. For instance, I got this Star Trek philosophy. And one of the best things that I love about going back to my AI collective is I work with a lot of, you know, me asking, how old are you?
38.
Yeah, I work with a lot of people that are between 25 to like 28. Okay. I'm 44. So I feel like it blows my mind because this next generation is teaching me a lot. They're teaching me about AI in a way. They grew up with social media. I grew up with before social media to a degree,
Right.
and I think you did too to a certain
Yeah.
degree.
Oh yeah, I
They
did.
grew up with when they were growing up. Some of them might have had MySpace, like Friendster, as their they were the tech first to a certain degree, and some of them have, especially, I've been having these philosophical discussions with Chappie, who's the co-founder and exec director of AI Collective, and the guy loves riffing on the philosophy of where AI is going, and he has introduced me to philosophies of AI where it could possibly lead to some innovation, then civil war, and then this complete reset of the world. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just kind of like where, based on society and polarization and this angst and mental anxiety and all these things can happen. It's one perspective. He has many perspectives. He chooses to be open to all views. So he's teaching me a non-Star Trek view. I'm teaching him the Star Trek view. In fact, yesterday I sent him some of these clips that about abundance and all that. Well, not yesterday, but a few weeks back, because we had this long debate about where AI is going. And I kept telling him it's abundant at the end and everything's gonna work out, no money and this and that. Don't worry. And then I sent him these Star Trek clips. He was exposed to something new. The common theme I'm trying to tell you is that both of us are right because AI doesn't have one type of solution or one type of thought. That's all.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that on a bunch of levels. Like one, this platform, we cover a fair amount of controversial topics sometimes, and it's never my goal to tell people what to think or to offend anybody. I try to dance around how to cover these topics in a sensitive way and cover it like you're saying you're in the middle. There's people who are all in or they're all against, and I don't think either one is really the right approach. And I just want to I want to educate people to think for themselves. So I really appreciate that that's kind of your approach as well. The other side of this is people like us talking about this, right? We're in this space. We have an easy path in to use these tools. A lot of the people who are against this, maybe that their line of work, their life leading up to this point hasn't really been that tech involved. So of course, this looks like a threat to them. So that's why I feel like there isn't really that one size fits all perspective. I understand both sides, like why somebody would be all in because they already see the opportunities. I can get why somebody would be against this because they're just like, I don't want to learn a new skill. I'm good at what I do, and I don't want AI to replace that. So I understand both sides of that. And to your point, I hope that there is that middle ground for people who are on either camp can find that healthy medium and find their way in to use this, incorporate it into their lives, and to enrich their lives. If at the end of the day this helps us, like here's the whole Star Trek thing, to achieve excellence, I would hate for people to miss out on that opportunity because they can't find the way in to use it correctly, right? Like I just got my mom ChatGPT on her
Yeah,
phone
yeah,
to
yeah.
show her the potential. I'm like, you're sitting here doing this stuff manually, or like, never
Yeah.
ask a question and then not know the answer. Like pull out your phone, get the answer to whatever
Yeah.
is on your mind. You have
I
the
think
ability to
and I
do that.
think and I think it goes back to that rudimentary example my dad gave, which is if you want to start learning AI, start from something simple. No joke, and I don't work for these people. I get no commission. I wish I did because I've shared this to like a bunch of people. I took this online course that University of Arizona did called Mastering ChatGPT. It was like a 5 week course, like 2 weeks a week of material, all online, all on demand. But it gives you videos and it gives you exercises on how to use ChatGPT. But the concepts of prompt engineering, how to ask better questions, how to ask specific things, it's actually applicable to any of the LLMs. So this isn't just about ChatGPT. Although ChatGPT, as you could probably tell, is my favorite one, but it doesn't mean that these aren't good either. Especially Grok with the financial info I just shared. But my point is that I would tell those people to take a basic course like that to start with. And even if you don't like AI, then it's still good to know the other side. It's kind of like Star Wars, right? I gotta give I gotta give Palpatine some props. As a Sith Lord, he knew all aspects of what the love of a Jedi is like. He knew the Force, he knew the studies, he knew the philosophies. He knew it so well, even though he didn't agree with it. He knew it so well that he was prepared to how to live a life not being a Jedi. Right?
Interesting. Yeah.
Same concept.
I love it. I would say you're lucky enough to have these passions, right? Obviously, it's not like it hasn't been without its challenges, but once you find that passion and you can wake up each day and chase it, it's a great feeling. And I'm just putting you in the hot seat, right? Because we're going unscripted here. Like if from all of your experience, if you had any advice to somebody who's not there yet, how do you find your path? Whatever your path is, whatever you're passionate about, what gets that spark going for people?
Dude, this is a good question. Probably the one of the best questions you've asked me to date. All your questions have been good, but this is definitely the top three. I would say you have to learn that everything is a learning experience. Look, man, I have had business ideas tank. I have been a toxic co-founder. I have done ventures that were chasing trends, but I wasn't really passionate about. I've not been bankrupt, but I have had situations where I've had no near to no money and I've rebuilt it or whatever you want to call it. I've had personal relationships, I've had business relationships, I've had all kinds of situations I've been taken advantage of, um, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And I've come to this point where if you feel like you're stuck or you haven't found it, stop searching, start living. So one of the best things that happened to me when I moved to the Bay Area is I mentioned to you that I lived in Southern California for so many years. I thought I needed to go back. I still, it is one of the reasons was to be closer to my family. My parents are coming of age and I wanted to be closer to them. They needed my help with some things, um, just lifestyle and stuff, or just, estate needs and stuff like that. But being in this isolation away from people before the AI collective, before I did Rhyme is Life, before finding this zest for life, I was struggling for a little bit because I had no one around me, nothing like depressing. I wasn't like depressed. I had my family, but I had to rebuild my identity and my world.
That's
And
real.
I I forced myself to be in isolation. And when you're in isolation or you're away, you have more time to just instead of like trying to figure out, oh, what am I going to work on next? Start to evaluate your life, evaluate what your strengths are, evaluate your experiences, and start to honor them. Go from there. That's the best advice I can give you.
I think you nailed it because that's without even I wasn't even really expecting that to be the answer, but you just touched on something huge of I
Yeah.
agree with that, right? Like it was like a meditative state or let's say a vision quest, people who just you have to just disconnect from everything, stop being influenced or concerned with all these things. What is there when you are just left to your own devices and it's just you? Uh maybe everybody needs a little bit of that in their life at those moments or at some stage of your life that challenge of isolation, that introspective thought is where that comes from. Otherwise, you're probably a product of your environment more than anything else, and you are your own creation there, I don't know, your own invention. What that's crazy, man. I like that because I told you before, man. I knew that I had to talk to you after I saw the Rising with Passion TEDx talk because I respect you so much for not only, you're an
Thanks, man.
entrepreneur, but you
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
lost something in the process, right? That so many people it's chasing the dollar sign at any cost. Once you're in it, it's just keep stacking, go for the next tier, just keep going. And you've managed to have that balance where you're successful, but you never lost touch with being authentic, being genuine and caring about not only like what you're doing, but how you're making that money. That you could go, there's so many things you can choose in life, and you've chosen things that align with your values, and you've managed to make that your mission. I really respect that. I mean that.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate you for having these conversations. Look, one thing that, regardless of what I reinvent myself to do, is I think spoken word conversation, especially podcasts, are very important. And I'm actually happy that podcasts are very popular and they don't seem to be going anywhere because there's a type of conversation that you get to have like this. And trust me, dude, I forgot I was an FM radio show host for many years. So that was another reinvention. And one of the greatest times of my life. Shout out to KUCIA 8.9 FM, especially Kevin Stockdale, mentor and guy who ran the station. The reason why I'm saying this is because the power of podcast, power of conversation is how these stories get shared. So I appreciate you for doing what you're doing.
Absolutely, man. And I'd be remiss if I didn't quote Bob Dylan here based on everything that you're saying. That I don't know who said it first, but it's in a Bob Dylan song, so I always latch to that. There's no success like failure. And I love that because it's like how else are you gonna learn? You can't give up just just because it's everything's a learning experience. It's so true. And you just gotta keep pushing, man.
Speaking of Bob Dylan, have you seen the Bob Dylan biopic that came out earlier this year?
I really need to. Everybody's telling me I mean, it's about a specific time in his life. Like I'm a big Dylan fan. I saw Dylan live a few months ago. I'm glad I got the chance
Oh,
to. Yeah, I need to see that movie for sure. I haven't seen it yet though, unfortunately.
I highly recommend you see it. Do you like Johnny Cash by chance?
Love Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, I'm not revealing anything, but it's based on his true story. Johnny Cash is in the movie too. The character, there's a guy who plays Johnny Cash, and as much as I love the guy who plays Bob Dylan, forgot his name. Really good actor. He's a guy in Dune and a
Timothy
bunch of other movies.
Chalamet. Yeah.
Yeah, great actor. He does Dylan perfectly. And but the guy who plays Johnny Cash is just on fleek too. I highly recommend you watch it if you're. I'm not a Dylan guy. Well, I just never got into Bob Dylan, but after that I did, and it's a great movie, great story. A lot you can learn from it.
Yeah. It takes time, you got to get over the voice sometimes can get in, and like the harmonica, you're like, "Oh my God, dude, like just chill." But I mean, for a guy that has what like 60 albums, like there's enough hits that you can pick through and find in there. So, but I get it. Like not all Dylan songs are created equal. And he had a rough patch what in the 80s where he just had writer's block and he just could not he was in a really weird funk for a long time and he was frustrated by that. Not to get off topic here because I could
No, it's cool.
I
It's
could
your
I
show,
could
man.
go deep into that. Well, I feel like you are just in such you're just like a tier above where I'm at with AI. Like I wanted to bring you on to pick your brain, and I feel like you have so much knowledge that I don't even know what to ask you to really get to tap into some of what the knowledge that you have. So if there was something,
So go back to that financial stock recommendation example.
okay,
My dad, who, again, bless his heart, does not know much about AI tools at the moment, but my dad has an interest in financial markets, public equities specifically, investments, portfolio retirement. He chose to use his passion and implement that with a AI tool, in this case being Grok. Apply the same thing to your life. If you want to be a songwriter, identify which tool can help you write better songs and start from there.
yeah,
That's it. So I think people complicate this. What I'm trying to say is it could be the financial stocks. For me, it could have been developing a speech better. For you, it could be becoming a songwriter. For some, it could be like a Timberland, which is creating AI production music. Um, for others, it could be how to step by step process to create a business plan. You're about to raise money, make this business plan look better, create KPIs based on it. Like whatever your thing is, find out what tool is good for it. Because right now there's a tool for almost everything to optimize your life. Heck, there's a legal contract tool out there. I don't even use it because I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not recommending it. But I gotta think it could help you with some of your work and start simple from there. And then you'll get hooked and then you'll look into whatever better tools out there. That's it.
good
That's
advice.
all I would suggest, dude.
That's
Keep
good.
it simple.
Have you seen
KISS. You know that term? I think Bill Clinton came up with it. Keep it simple, stupid. It's the
yeah,
same idea.
yeah. Because I get it. It could be overwhelming when you look at all the like I could be doing this and this and this. Yeah, find your way in. Go start slow and it'll grow from there. Yeah, like it will come to you if you start using it for sure. It'll start to make sense what aspects of your life this can assist you with. Um, I haven't watched any of the films yet, but I did see there was a film festival, I guess last month or 2 months ago, and all of the films are AI generated. And like
Dope.
one of them, it was like a 9 minute production. It won awards and everything. I gotta see this because it must be good. Um, and I don't mind this, right? There is media that's now like, oh, it's AI generated. It's people, there are different camps that feel different types of ways about this. But what I want to ask you is, what do you think of Mark Cuban's prediction that with the rise of like everything being AI online and you can't trust what's real or what's not, it's going to create a return to more interest in face-to-face interactions with people?
Well, I actually have to say, I think it's already happened.
I agree with that.
So
Yeah.
I'm in SF area. Not to sound cocky, not to sound arrogant. This doesn't mean I know more than others because anyone can move to the Bay Area SF if they really want to, if they have a desire and a dream. SF is arguably the hub of AI right now in the country, or if not the world. Would you agree?
I mean, yeah, I think so. At least, if not
Okay.
the world, at least in the States for sure. I can't speak for
Okay.
everyone, but yeah,
At least in the
definitely.
United States, it is the most AI activity. Right now, if you go to whether it's AI Collective or if you just go on Luma and you type in AI events, or there's a great platform called Cerebral Valley. It's like a aggregator of all these AI events. Any given day, there's 5 to 20, and I'm being conservative, 5 to 20 AI related in person events happening right now.
Awesome.
If I wanted to just have a life, not have a life, and just be an AI event hound, I could, I would have 1,000 events within end of 1 month if I really want to. Not all of them are big conferences. Some are small, some are meetups, some are roundtables. But what does that tell you? Sorry, Mark, it's already happened.
Yeah.
I respect Mark. He's a goat. The guy is a
It is,
goat.
yeah.
The guy is the Jay-Z, Biggie, Tupac of entrepreneurship. What do you want to call him, man? I bow down to him, dude. I would be nervous as heck if I ever met him. Don't get me wrong. But I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, Mr. Cuban, it's already happened.
Yeah. Awesome. Everybody's looking maybe like near term impacts. AI is going to replace my job or it's going to change the this entertainment industry. I'm looking at it in a different way. What was it? Google's Willow chip solved some complex math equation that
Yep,
they
yep.
said it would have taken 10 septillion years to solve, which is like a one and then like 20 zeros. So like 10, not even a million years, 10 septillion years, and it solved it in 10 minutes, right? So what happens? This is the impact that I'm talking about. What happens when we use AI to solve, every one of Einstein's like unified field theories, quantum mechanics, essentially figuring out, the universe, the meaning of life, like all the big questions that have stumped humanity since its inception. Will we reach a weird turning point where AI helps us to get the answers that no human has ever had the enough time within one life to solve? If we solve that, how does that, well, one, will that happen? Do you think it's likely? And two, how does that overall impact humanity on just like a really deeper level than just your day-to-day life?
So I don't know if it will happen. I don't know when it will happen, but the odds look like it will, based on how how things are accelerating, just from public knowledge, stuff that you and I can have access to reading. I have no inside knowledge. But if it does happen, I think it's going to lead to that abundance that the Star Trek universe has taught me.
I sure hope so, man. All right, well, final thoughts, man. If you could share one more thing with us, what's on your mind?
Honest to God, what's on my mind right now is this convergence of AI and creativity. So we're talking about, find that lane and dive deep into it. And so I am right now just doing a lot of research on who are the top creators utilizing AI and creativity tools. How is AI and creativity helping filmmaking, content creation, audiobooks, like with my project? Um, I am definitely going to check out this AI film festival that you mentioned, stuff like that. Um, so I just feel that AI and creativity is at the early stages. And what's great about AI creativity is that there's no one type. There's so many types. Heck, AI creativity could affect painting. It can take conscious thinking. Neuralink could be involved with AI creativity for all we know. I'm just really into that right now because I feel that this is the first time I've ever said this, actually. I'm really glad you asked this. I think AI creativity can allow anyone, regardless of where you live, to tap into their unlimited potential because of the tools, because of the accessibility, and because of the limitless um, intention that these tools can give anyone.
That's yeah, man, you just summed it up right there because that's I feel like the what are our like you said limitless, untapped potential. It's like what slows me down? I have an idea and I've got 10 fingers, a keyboard and a mouse. And how long does it take to get that out of my head into something real, right? So if you can accelerate that, that's your potential. That's the limitlessness of it that it's no longer such a tedious, lengthy task. Um, I love it. That's why I'm excited about it. I feel like, going back to the beginning of the call, like it's making people lazy, this and that. No, I think people who normally those boundaries or those challenges, those roadblocks that stood in the way, this is going to allow us to see a lot more great things come out of people. Just everyday people that maybe don't have the resources. It's like, oh, if only I had HBO and all this behind me, I could do this thing. Like, well, man, you can do it from your phone now. You could do it from you could do it laying in bed on your laptop. And to me, that's what I hope to see, that people who have had great ideas but weren't able to develop them and implement them, those people are going to come to the forefront now. We're going to see an explosion of just new movements, new ideas, and just hopefully, improved ways of life because of this, for real.
100%, man. 100%.
Awesome, dude. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. It'll be interesting if we connect again like a year from now, or like let's see let's see how the landscape has changed, right? Because everything's moving so fast.
I know, man.
So,
Thank you, dude. It was a real pleasure, a real honor. Really appreciate you taking the time, and thank you for taking the time to speak with me.
oh, likewise, man. Well, good luck with everything. Keep me in the loop as new stuff drops. I wanna stay up to speed.
100%. Oh, sign up for rhymeislife.com if anyone wants to learn about our project.
Yo, it's Jordan rules, so we playing my game. Took all that hate, now it's propane inside of my tank. You need class, I remind you, like back in the day. Talk tough, but is your debt really ready to pay? Nah, I'm built different, boy, check my design. Got a lot of love for the city, but my peers are the rhyme.